Hey guys, Rusty over here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to solo normal Antorus the Burning Throne, including how you deal with Imonar the Soulhunter and also the Coven of Shivarra, which are going to be the two bosses that will give you the most problems. Now, down in the description below, I will leave timestamps to skip to each boss if you want to skip ahead, and also, if you have any questions at all, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and if you liked the video, if it helped you out, feel free, please leave a like, and subscribe to the channel, it does help me out. Now, I did do this, wow, good start. Did do this around 473 item level with 2 pieces of rank 2 infinite stars and also a Gushing Wound corruption trait. And again guys, almost every single one of these bosses is a complete joke with again the exception of Imonar and the Coven of Shivarra, but we'll get to that later. Now you may have noticed I haven't said anything about the current boss, Garothi Worldbreaker. It's because there's really nothing to say about Garothi except to kill it. None of the abilities that the boss does is any threat to you. Like this eradication ability he's doing here does damage based on distance. It didn't even do 1% of my health. Guys, listen, you're in no danger of dying to this boss. Simply go in there, kill it. When he goes into the phase, kill the Annihilator or the Decimator. He'll come back up, and then you can just go ahead and finish the boss off. The only thing to note is that you might just get knocked up into the air a lot because of the tank debuff. That is it. Next, we're going to be moving on to the Felhounds of Sargeras. You have Fart and Shat, the blue and red dogs. Pretty much just like Garothi, these bosses are pretty much a tank and spank. None of the abilities are really going to do too much damage. The only thing to note is that these bosses do share HP, so if you have any cleave abilities, any AoE abilities, again, they share HP, so the more cleave you do, the more damage you'll do to them. And also, since you're going to be tanking them together, for the most part, I mean, if you have a pet class, you can separate them if you want, but if they're tanked together, they will be doing extra damage to you. Although, again, guys, it's really not that big of a deal. You can really kill the bosses before they do the other two mechanics that they do. However, for this video, I did want to show you just one of them. By the way, they also do Siphon and Flame Corruption and put a dot in you. It's just ticking damage. Can't really avoid it. Don't worry about it. I did want to show you the orb that they do. Basically, that purple orb is just going to suck you into it. Don't get sucked into it. There you go. Now, Fart, the red dog, will also do a Desolate Gaze, which I didn't show you in the video. Essentially, just an image of him is going to go out and just do some damage to you guys. Just kill the boss. It's really, really that simple. You're really in no danger of dying to these two bosses. Now, next, we're going to be moving on to the Antoran High Command. You have Admiral Cervix here. Now, this boss was actually, I personally really enjoyed this boss when it was current, and now it's still very, very easy to do. So when Admiral's out, there's two things kind of that are going to happen. You're going to have ad spawn, 2 different types of ads. You have the Pyromancers, shock and they cast Pyroblast, and you have the Shock Troopers, which just do a Blade Storm. Simply just kill the ads, try not to stand in the Blade Storm if possible, but again guys, this normal mode, it really doesn't matter, they don't do much damage. Now there's also going to be these green mines that spawn, which you could see when you step into them, you're going to gain a stacking dot on you. Now the thing that's likely to kill you on this boss is the stacking tank debuff, that red debuff in the top right of your screen. Essentially the boss is going to do a red slash at you, and every time it does the slash, it increases the damage of the next slash. Basically like every other tank debuff, right? So essentially you need to kill the boss before it kills you. However, it would be like that if the boss didn't transition at certain times and a different boss didn't spawn. Now you can also click on their pods there and jump in them. I'm not sure if that despawns the boss. I didn't try. If someone wants to leave a comment below letting me know if that despawned the boss or not, letting everyone know, feel free to leave a comment. But I don't think there's no reason to click the pods anyways. Now, after a while, Admiral Cervix is going to do Assume Command, and then Chief Engineer Iskar is going to come out of his pod. Now, chances are, guys, if you're geared enough, you could very easily kill Admiral before this ever happens. Now, if you get to this phase, 2 things are going to happen. 1, the ads are still going to spawn, and also if you look up, there's going to be a giant Legion ship that every now and then will just rain fire, and you'll just take a burst of damage. Every time this ability is cast, though, it will increase the damage of the next cast. So basically you just take some damage, although the damage is not that big of a deal. Now again, just like the last boss, he will also cast Assume Command after a while. Guys, unless you're super under gear doing this, you should really never see General Erodus here. However, if you do get here, let me tell you what happens. Essentially, guys, the mines are going to come back to spawning, and you're still going to get the full Aid cast with the, the rain fire, but there will no longer be any ad spawn, so you could just go ahead and pump damage into the boss, and then the fight just repeats from here on out. And that's pretty much it. Now you can see here I try and get in the pod, but the boss dies at the same time. So again, I'm not sure if getting inside the pod actually resets it or not. But there's really no reason to go inside the pods, guys, unless you want a little bit of fun. Next, we're moving on to Portal Keeper Hasabel. Now, at 90%, 60%, and 30% HP, these portals around the room, the red, green, and blue one, or purple one, she's going to activate them, and they're going to start doing ticking damage until you go through the portal and kill the ad on that platform, then the ticking damage will stop. However, since you're not on the main platform and no one's tanking Portal Keeper Hasabel, by the way, kill the blazing imps and don't stand in this purple boom boom that goes. Kill the imps, don't stand in the boom boom. If you go up on the platform and no one's tanking Portal Keeper Hasabel, since you're soloing this, she will start doing a different ability. I forgot the name. It's like catastrophic something. But anyways, she's going to start doing a burst of damage to you, which stacks up very high. And that actually does do a good amount of damage. And it's really the only way you wipe here. So what do? Just don't go through the portals, guys. Just kill the boss. Kill the ads on the bottom platform, not the top platforms. Don't stand in the purple stuff. She's also going to debuff you with a tank debuff called Reality Tear. It's just going to be a ticking dot on you, which is, again, a little bit of a DPS check. So again, guys, for this boss, you just need to kill it before it kills you. It is not, in my opinion, not worth it to go up through the portals to kill the ads. The ticking damage she does while you're not tanking her is much, much higher than those. Next, we'll just move on to Eonar. So to start Eonar, you need to go talk to her bush here and say you want to start the encounter. Now, you're also going to have an extra action button that when you use it, it's going to send you straight into the air only once. It does reset when you pull it if you use it before. And if you reactivate it and click on the ground, it'll send you to that target location. It's very useful for moving around the platform. So once you start, head back to the entrance of the room. You're going to have Fel guards and also a Fel infused destructor. Go ahead and kill those off. Now, after that, you're going to want to head to this bottom platform here. And that's going to be where your next ad spawn. By the way, see that little lift to the left? If you run onto that, that'll send you up to the next level of the platform. If you see those around the room, you're also going to get hit by Rain of Fel. Ignore it. It does a little burst of damage. Now, after some time, we're chilling on the bottom. Felhounds and another Fel-infused Destructor are going to spawn. By the way, after you kill a certain amount of ads, she will do an ability that's one-shots all the ads around the room and also damages the Paraxis. The fight ends when the Paraxis is dead, which is for the cast. So after the bottom, head back to the entrance of the room, kill some more Fel guards, and go ahead and kill that Destructor. Now from here, you're going to want to head to the top area. Now you could use that launch pad right there to send you to the top, or you could just use your extra action button and glide to the top from there. Now, again, make sure you reactivate it to land and don't click the edge. Now on top, 2 Fel Lords are going to spawn, and don't leave right away. Don't get baited here, because there's a little bit of a delay on this Destructor here. Once that Fel-infused Destructor is dead, then you're going to immediately rush to the bottom, because you can see there's some Felhounds already spawning there. Just go intercept their path. Guys, this is Tower Defense 101. Just intercept their path and kill them before they reach the boss. Even if they reach the boss, it's not that big of a deal. They'll just start meleeing her. You just can't let them keep meleeing the boss while you're doing that. Now, again, you can see here, if you go on one of these little pads here, it'll launch you to the next platform. Those are very useful if your extra action button is down. Once you clear out the Felhounds, head back to the entrance of the room, and you're going to have more Fel guards spawn. Now, again, don't get baited here. You're going to have another robot spawn. By the way, if there's Fel guards inside that Obfuscator's range, they won't be attackable, so kill the Obfuscator first. Now here I actually made a little bit of a mistake here. Now what's going to happen is through a portal is going to spawn up there, and through that portal some Felbats are going to spawn. So I went to the middle and waited for these Felbats here. What I should do, you can see me waiting for the bats. You want to go to the bottom first. That Destructor, if not tanked, is just going to be doing damage to the essence of Eonar, which you can see on the right of the screen. She's taking a lot of damage. Before you kill these bats, again, you want to go to the bottom first, kill the Destructor, then go up to the middle platform and deal with the bats. However, if you did make the same mistake I did, kill the bats, hop down and kill this Fel-infused Destructor. Now from here I got a little bit confused. I just did this in one shot. I thought it was going to be a middle spawn first, but after you kill the Felbats and that Destructor, another Destructor robot is actually going to spawn on the top platform. So head to the top platform. Again, you could use your extra action button, or you could use that platform, and you have again 2 Fel Lords and another Fel-infused Destructor. Make sure you kill off the Fel Lords and the Destructor. The Destructor is the priority though, since that, if not tanked, once again will be spamming damage on the essence of Eonar, which is never good, because if that essence of Eonar dies, you die. Finally, after the top platform, head back to the entrance of the room, and this is going to be your last wave of ads, which is just some more Felhounds. And then after that, the fight is pretty much over. Eonar will do her last cast of her ability that one-shots all the ads, the Life Force ability. She will send basically a mini nuke at the Paraxis ship there and turn it into a pentagon. This fight is, see, look at that pentagon. Amazing graphics. Anyways, this fight is really easy as long as you know where the ads spawn. Now, Imonar the Soulhunter is your first real pain-in-the-ass boss. You're going to want an inherited insignia of the Horde or the Alliance version, right? which is an heirloom trinket you buy from the heirloom vendor in either Aggramar for Horde or the Iron Forge for the Alliance. Now, the reason for that is for an ability called Sleep Canister. You need to push the boss to 66% HP for most classes before he does 2 casts of Sleep Canister. Otherwise, you're going to be perma-stunned and you're just going to die. Now, after you cast Sleep Canister, after a few seconds, you're going to be put to sleep for 20 seconds. Use your inherited insignia to break out of the trinket, to break out of the Sleep Canister, and push the boss to 66% HP before he casts another one. Paladins can immune out of it, I believe mages can immune out of it. Some classes have ways to deal with it, but for the most part, you need to push the boss before he does the second cast. Otherwise, you're just going to be chain stunned. Now, go across the bridge, try not to hit any of the traps. If you do, it's not the end of the world. You'll either get knocked back or just stunned for 6 seconds and take a small amount of damage. But ideally, don't hit any of them. Cross the bridge, interrupt the boss, and then this phase is really easy. Don't stand on any swirlies that spawn on the ground, and then also Imonar, he's going to put a stacking dot on you, which is essentially just a small DPS check, although it's a very easy one to make. It's just a stacking dot. He's also going to spawn those 2 ships, which, if they hit you, will put another dot on you. Somehow they didn't hit me. Now, once you cross the bridge again, you'll have the same traps from last time. You're also going to have red ones. If you're going to hit any trap, hit the red ones. The red circles will just put another dot in you, and if you walk into the red lines, you'll just take a small burst of damage. Again, if you have to walk into a trap, ideally you want it to be the red ones, as they are less annoying than the green ones. And once you get to the last platform, this is pretty much a joke. He no longer does the Sleep Canister ability, just kill the boss. Again, guys, if you could get past that first platform, you pretty much have killed the boss. That is the only hard part of this fight. Again, use the Inherited Insignia of the Horde. It is very, very helpful for this fight. And again, the Alliance version, Inherited Insignia of the Alliance. Now, we're moving on to Garothi next. Got a transition there. Oh well. Moving on to Garothi. This boss is a complete pushover. He's a joke. He's a complete joke. Look at him. Anyways, this again was another interesting fight during progression because people get hit by these diabolic bombs. Now, he's going to spawn these bombs here, which if you walk into them, they're going to go boom. They're bombs. He's also going to do a Forging Strike, which is basically a stacking debuff he puts on you, which increases the next damage of the Forging Strike. He's also going to try and ruin your day with a Ruiner Beam. Don't stand in the beam. Now, the Reverberating Strike he does, every time he does that, he's going to spawn a crystal on your location, that orange crystal to the left there, and if you stand on that, you'll take another burst of damage. So just keep hitting the boss until he does Apocalypse Protocol, which he will basically become immune to damage. And you're going to spawn these robots here, which take increased damage when the phase starts, and then don't when the phase ends. So all you're going to do, just kill both of these robots that spawn. Again, guys, these are very, very easy to kill. If you don't kill them, they will start attacking you. But again, with the increased damage they take, they are very, very easy to kill. And for every robot you kill, that will deal 6% of the boss's HP. So after you kill both robots, chill out for a little bit. He'll still be casting Apocalypse Protocol. And once that ends, the fight just repeats from there. And you're simply just going to want to kill the boss. This boss is very, very easy to do. Imonar is much, much harder than that. Get past Imonar, you get him. Now, Varimathras is a small DPS check because after a few seconds from the fight starting, you are going to be immune to all healing because every time you take shadow damage, you get a debuff that makes you immune to healing. And if you're not standing within 8 yards of anyone else, he will always hit you with shadow damage since you're soloing. No one else is there. By the way, the Dark Fissure cast, I don't know if it has to do with me soloing it. They didn't spawn for some reason. But if purple orbs spawn for you, don't stand in them. Now, the only other thing we'll do besides a little tank cleave is going to be a marked prey, which when he's going to charge you, and you're just going to get knocked back and take a burst of shadow damage. Again, guys, you just need to kill this boss before he kills you, as again, you will be immune to healing. Simple enough. He's really not that big of a DPS check, though. He doesn't have that much hit points. Now, moving on to the Coven of Shivarra, which in my opinion, for most classes, is going to be the hardest boss in here, because the way that one of the mechanics works, if the bosses are near each other, they take 99% reduced damage. Now, before I go into how to deal with that, I do want to go over the different Titan adds that spawn throughout the fight. Now, the first set of ads that can spawn are going to be the Torments of Golganath here, which are going to be the Lightning Boys. Now, since you're soloing this, they do absolutely nothing. If you want, you could completely ignore these ads, or if you're a class that heals off Leech, like a Demon Hunter, Leech to Metamorphosis, you could DPS them while you're meta and get that Leech. Now, the other ad that spawns is going to be the Torment of Khaz'goroth. When they spawn, they're going to send beams into the middle. Don't stand in the fire. If you're standing in the middle, by the way, you get hit by all the beams. Just kill them off. Now, the Torments of Aman'Thul will do a super long cast. When they get that cast off, you're going to gain a stacking dot. Take your time killing these off. There's no rush to kill them, but you do want to kill these eventually because you don't want the dot stacking up and up and up. For some reason, that ad despawned. I've never seen that happen before, unless Infinite Stars hit it, which is a possibility. Now, the last ad is going to be the Torments of Norgnon. Now, what these do, besides make you realize your computer's a piece of crap, is that they're going to spawn around the edge of the room, and they're going to have these purple circles. If you stand in the purple circle, you take ticking damage. Now, you can CC them in order to make a gap, or since they do very little damage, just walk right through them. Walk right through them, and after 30 seconds, they will become attackable, and you can kill them off. Kind of, if you've ever done Heroic or Mythic Prophet Skitcha, it works like the ads on there. Now that we went over those ads, let's start the fight. Now, again, if the bosses are near each other, they turn pink and take 99% reduced damage. If you are a class that has any kind of pet, so Hunters, your Warlocks, Death Knights, Monks could use the Brewmaster statue, I believe. Have them tank one of those, and you tank the other and split them up and just DPS the boss. This boss is a joke for you if you have a pet class. Now, if you don't have a pet class, this boss is very difficult for you, or if you are not a pet class. So, the Mother of Flame here is going to do two abilities that lets you DPS a little bit. One is the Fiery Strike. You could see here, as soon as she Fiery Strikes, I Fell Rush, and that gives me a second, because she stands still for like a second when she casts that ability. I Fell Rush away, and I get like a second DPS window to get in the boss. The other one is the Whirling Saber. There's Fiery Strike, I run away, and she casts Whirling Saber. You can see she's standing still, and that splits them apart long enough to give me a small damage window to put DPS into that boss. That is how you kill this boss if you do not have a pet class. It is very possible. It's just a pain in the ass. I mean, it's so annoying. Like, again, guys, you have maybe 1-2 seconds to put damage into the boss, so you need to very slowly whittle this boss down. So, after 2 Titan ads, the bosses are going to switch. The Mother of Flame is going to go away, and the Mother of Gloom is going to come in. Now, this is a little annoying because the Mother of Gloom it's a little bit harder to separate the ads. Much harder if you can't get rid of the slow. Now, she's going to do 2 things. One is going to be she's going to put a Healing Absorb debuff on you. If you don't heal through that, you're just going to get stunned for a little bit. The stun isn't too long. Ideally, though, try and heal through the Absorb Shield so you don't get stunned. Now, the really annoying thing that the Mother of Gloom is going to do, she's going to put a stacking debuff on you called Flash Freeze, which every stack, I believe it's a 10% slow until you eventually are permaslowed. Now, Demon Hunters have Vengeful Retreat to remove that. If your class does not have an ability to remove that, it is very annoying to try and separate the bosses here. By the way, while she is casting Chill Blood, while there is no cast bar, she will also stand still, so if you are able to get rid of the Flash Freeze, you can use that to separate the bosses and DPS. However, again, guys, if you do not have an ability to remove that Flash Freeze, what you're going to want to do is just wait. You have to wait until eventually the boss finally resets back to like it was on the beginning of the poll, and you have the Mother of Flames and also the Mother of Night again, and that will give you the opportunity for Fiery Strike and Whirling Saber to start casting that again. The only other thing to know is that every cast of Fiery Strike will increase the damage of the next one, so you do need to kill the boss kind of quick before that Fiery Strike kills you. Guys, you need a lot of gear for this. This one is a pain. Wait till Shadowlands. Don't do this now. Anyways, let's move on to Aggramar. Now, I do have a bit of a more detailed guide on my channel on how to do Heroic Aggramar. Pretty much the same thing with normal too. So I'm going to kind of just go over the main important thing here, which is going to be the Taishalak technique. You don't want that ability to go off. Otherwise, chances are, for most classes, you will just be knocked off the platform. So in order to avoid this, you want to push the boss to 80%, 40%, and then dead before he casts a Taishalak technique. Once he gets to 80% health, the first intermission will start. Now, if you push him before he does the Taishalak technique, he won't cast it, and it will restart the timer. Now, to get out of the intermission, you need to kill both of the flames of Taishalak, and you're also going to have these embers here. But if the embers reach the boss, you'll gain a stacking dot on you. So the dot really isn't that big. However, you could simply just kill them off on normal mode, and they won't respawn, unlike Heroic. Now, again, guys, you're going to want to split your DPS cooldowns up here if you're a little bit undergeared. Don't use any of pull since it's only 80%. Now, here, I use my Metamorphosis, but I save my Condensed Life Force, and I, again, push the boss to 40% HP to interrupt his Taishalak technique. You, again, do not want that ability to go off, because chances are, unless you have some way to avoid a knockback or charge back to the boss, you're going to get knocked off the platform and just die. So, again, the best way to avoid that, push the boss to 80%, 40% and then dead before he does that. And you can see here, I had my Condensed Life Force, and I want to kill the boss before he does the Taishalak technique. And again, guys, if you're really struggling with DPS, I recommend just ignoring all of the embers of Tayshalak. Just let him hit the boss and just pump all damage into the boss to, again, avoid knockback. Otherwise, you're going to die. Again, I have a detailed guide in my video if you want more information on this boss. But again, just a bit, avoid Tayshalak technique. Moving on to the final boss, Argus the Unmaker, which is my second favorite boss of Legion. Cooldown was the best, easily. And right now, guys, this boss is a complete joke. Like, this is probably the third easiest boss in it. No, maybe not. But anyways, this boss is really, really easy. In phase 1, which goes to 70%, don't stand in the black stuff spawned by the Cone of Death and also the Soul Blight Orb. Don't stand in the black stuff. Now, after you push the boss to 70% health, there's going to be this blue lightning around the edge of the room. Now, I didn't stand in it. However, if you do, you will take a lot of ticking damage. Now, again, since I didn't stand in it, I don't know if that ticking damage will kill you or not. You could try it out if you want. Let me know in the comments below if it kills you. If it does, don't stand in it. Simple enough. Now, after that, you're going to get into phase 2, where you get the Avatar of Aggramar debuff. And this ability is great because you don't have to worry about anything. You become, basically, you're a god. You literally become a titan. Alright? You're the Avatar of Aggramar. Anyways, what this you won't die. Just push the boss to 40% health, and then he's going to start this intermission. Aman'Thul's going to blow him up into a bunch of little ads. Again, I decided just to use my DPS cooldowns here. That's really up to you where you want to use them. There's no point where they're really necessary. This intermission ends once you kill all the Constellar designates. Now, certain Constellars, certain ads will take damage. Like you see that blue one there will take increased frost damage. That's really not too important since you have to kill them all anyways. However, if they're doing a lot of damage to you, you should probably kill the ones that take increased damage from your abilities first. And again, just ignore the Cosmic Ray. Ignore every cast. They won't do that much damage and kill the ads. And once you do, the coolest transition to any boss fight in any phase ever starts, where he sucks you into the middle of the room. All these sides, this is so cool, dude. This is my favorite. And they just go in and he kills you. The only thing I don't like about it, I don't like that he stops there. He should just go straight in and friggin' home run your ass. I love that transition. Blizzard did an amazing job on that. Anyways, you're just chilling out. By the way, pay attention here. Eonar is going to resurrect you. Pay attention to where it grows out of her. Look at this. Ready? There. See where that grows out? Yeah. Grows out of her bush. Her bush comes from her bush. Anyways, she's going to resurrect you, and again, it makes you realize how crap my computer is, and you're going to be able to release your spear here and go into the spirit realm where you have these shot ads. Now, guys, if you walk into them, you won't take damage, but you're going to blow up and get a debuff on you, which is going to slow you. So simple enough, don't walk into them. Walk into the tree. That's going to resurrect you, and you want to interrupt the end of all things. If you finish that cast, you just die. That's it. That's literally the only real way you have any chance of dying on this fight, is by not interrupting that cast. The last phase will start. You're going to have these swirlies that spawn. Don't stand in the swirlies. You will gain a stacking dot on you, just to show you here. You gain a stacking dot. You're also going to have these reorigination module ads. They will do a cast, and when you kill them or they finish their cast, they will spawn. They will basically explode, and if you're in that black area, you'll take some damage, which grows with each cast, by the way. Now, I did a little experiment here. I wanted to see if I would die if I just let them finish their cast. It didn't even do 1% of my health. Like, guys, you could ignore the ads if you want, or you could kill them. It's really up to you. Again, I need a new computer. I'm sorry about the frame rate. Yes, I'm aware. Anyways, once you get in that last phase, guys, simply just kill the boss. That's really it. And that's it, guys. That's Antorus the Burning Throne. Again, if you could kill Imonar and Coven of Shivarra, every other boss is a complete joke for you guys. If you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I try to answer as many comments as I possibly can. If I see it and if I can help, I will do my best. Also, if you like the video, feel free to leave a like. It does help me out a lot. And if you like the content, hit that subscribe button. Again, it helps me out a lot. Anyways, guys, I hope this guide helped you. I do hope you enjoyed the video. I'm not done yet, though. The most important thing of every single video, this is key. This message needs to get out there. Like, it needs to happen. Halo 3 was the best Halo. Guys, listen, Halo 2, quality Halo, Combat Evolved, amazing Halo was the first one. Reach, I personally loved Reach. ODST, awesome. 4 and 5, dog shit. But listen, Halo 3 was the best Halo. There's just no argument. Anyways, guys, I do hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.